Right, here I am. Yeah, Orwell's again. Absolutely marvellous. What am I on? Royal Enfield Hunter. Yeah, brrr, ding. Absolutely marvellous. Oh, let's get going. Not a lot of petrol, but we'll soon remedy that, I guess. Absolute marvellous little bike, and the reason I want... Ambulance. Alright, we'll get out after that bit of excitement. But what I'll do is, I'll bring you out when I get into the countryside. I'm just going to go and have a jolly on it, and then I'll do a walk round. Thought I'd just introduce the bike now. Obviously, you know it, it's an old model they've been making for quite some time now, and a very, I think, undervalued, underrated bike in the lineup now, up against the Gorilla and everything else, which is why I wanted to do this video. So I'll bring you back at the walk round. Yeah. So here it is, the Royal Enfield Hunter 350 HNTR. Yeah, obviously the 350 engine that's in the classic Apometer, and well proven by now, isn't it? Producing the same 20 brake horsepower, or 20.2, something like that. Sorry, I've got the sun right in my face. I should have thought about this a bit better. And something like 25 Newton meters of torque, something like that. Not massive, but to ride, whereas the classic 350 is really relaxed, this is much more lively, and I really enjoy it. It feels so much quicker. It weighs in something like 181 kilos, which is about 14 kilos lighter than the classic. So that obviously has some effect on it and does make it feel much sharper. And it handles so well. Basic suspension all round, alloy wheels, handles well within its capabilities in terms of its top speed. The brakes, again, Bertie, just absolutely spot on for the bike. They feel quite keen at times. The appearance of it is quite generic, isn't it? It's a motorbike. It's shaped like a motorbike. It's like a baby speed twin or something like that. I remember thinking that at the time. Dead comfy to sit on. I'm 6'2", and yet I fit on it really well. And with the Gorilla, I didn't seem to fit on that so well. The Gorilla is much sharper, obviously, that bigger engine, liquid cooled, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I would have this over the Gorilla at the moment. I've got to go and try the Gorilla again, which I will do. But I wanted to ride this because I just think it's sort of been forgotten. Is it going to drift off and fall off the list for the UK market? If it is, it will be a real shame. This is under £4,000, something like £3,800. It's got the single clock. You can get the tripper on it if you want. It's got the roundy dials that I like. The sound, the exhaust, that little exhaust, sounds absolutely wonderful. You'll hear it as I ride back and we do the senses test. Grab rails on it. I just think it is a cracking bike, both to look at, to sit on and ride. Yes, it's small, but as I say, 6'2", and I fit on it absolutely no problems whatsoever. Whatever Royal Enfield did with this, they got it right. I've got no... Very difficult to criticise it, other than for its sheer lack of power. You know, proper power. But this is better than the Classic. And if you're buying one of these Royal Enfield Classic 350s, or the Hunter 350, or in fact Meteor, you're already fully aware that it is 20 brake horsepower. And for these Suffolk country lanes that we've got around here, it's absolutely ideal. A brilliant bike for commuting, a brilliant bike for adventuring. I just love it. I don't know if you can tell. I really, really like it. And it's good fun. But let's get going and we'll do the senses test and we can talk a bit more about it. I think I've covered all the specs. The seat height is just 780. Yeah, so it is quite low and you can see me stood behind it. I must look like a giant, but I don't mind because when I'm on it, it just feels right. Right, let's get back on the road. Right, here I am back on board. Brrr, ding. Oh, absolutely marvellous. Rounded dial to start it. And listen to that little thumper of an engine, yeah. I shall get going and we can have a bit of a mutter about it. I mean, just listen to that engine, absolutely wonderful. We're loads and loads of flies about at the moment. But let's get back on here, hopefully none will land on the camera. So yeah, a great sound from that exhaust. And of course this bike's not really running, so I can't really go too crazy on it, but it zips up to the national speed limit, no trouble at all, and the handling is well within all its speed. Yeah. The mirrors, great for seeing out of. I mean, it's just an accomplished little bike, and like I say, I think Royal Enfield got this one right straight off. A lot of people won't like the single clock and the fact that it's offset. Watch out for this car. Yeah. Oh, look at that E-Type. Absolutely marvellous. I've thoroughly enjoyed it on these back roads. They're getting a bit busy now though. It is also a bike you can ride relaxed and just take it nice and steady and pootle down the back lanes, but also a bike you can chivvy along a little bit and have a bit of fun. 5-speed gearbox, nothing fancy on it, nothing's going to be expensive to replace if you break it or anything. I will just keep giving you a little wipe to make sure we've got no bugs. Yeah, I'll stop for your electric vehicle. Absolutely marvellous. Let's get down here. I forgot where I was now. I was thinking about the senses test. That's what I was doing. Yeah, you can do everything with it. You can commute, you could even do little tours on it without too much trouble. Like I said, the seat is very, very comfortable and everything just seems right, which is incredible considering how small it is and how tall I am. But the senses test, this is a fun little bike. This could be a blackcurrant or a blueberry, given that it's blue. Yeah, a blueberry winder. Now, if you don't know what a winder is, oh, I can't help you. It's just full of sugar. and flavour. Yeah, it comes in a strip and you peel it off. Absolutely marvellous. That's what this would be. Yeah. So the suspension there, you'll have heard. I mean, that's a massive pothole on that corner, unfortunately. Very dangerous place to have a pothole. But this bike is so light and flickable, it is just fun, and you're not going silly speeds. Smell. Well, this is a brand new bike. All I can smell is a little bit of polish and warm metal. You know, the sort of smell. New bike smell. It's wonderful, isn't it? Best slow down a little bit, little bike. We're on camera. And then, what does it look like? Like I say, I think it looks like a baby speed twin. Yeah, it looks a little bit like the Triumph, or did Triumph copy this? They were always going to, because it looks so much like a little baby Triumph. This, I think, has a slightly deeper note than the Speed 400. Yeah. It's got a really nice sound, which we'll get onto, of course, as one of the senses. So to look at, that's what it looks like. I think it's a nice, classic looking bike. Then what, to touch and feel, it's lovely. Nice roundy shapes. I like the round buttons that they have for the lights and for the starter. Are really tactile. Yeah, everything about it is. And here we are going uphill. I'm in fourth, just wind it on, and it just pulls that little engine for the little bit of torque that it's got. It's just lovely for these little rolling hills of Suffolk. And now we're going down a hill and too quick. Yeah, so to touch and feel, I think it's a cracking little bike. I really do. And quality wise, it's pretty damn good, and they have stood the test of time. I haven't heard of anybody complaining about anything breaking on them. They're dead easy to work on as well, so when it's out of warranty you can get that service. And in fact, I believe, and you'd have to check this out yourself, you can service it yourself as long as you keep receipts of everything, and maybe even video yourself doing it. And if you learn how to do that, you might as well be on YouTube, because I can't bloody do it. No. Yeah. So that's the touch and feel quality. Oh, we're up to 40. Marvellous. And of course, that's the other thing with these little engines, is that we're getting stung with speed limits absolutely everywhere, aren't we? So having masses of power, yes, it's fun at times, but the majority of the time you're very easy to lose your license. Then the sound, well, I've already said this sounds cracking just as it is. I wouldn't change this pipe at all. I just love the sound. I love the throb. Going back to feel for a moment, I love that little bit of vibration. I know some people say, oh, bikes are too vibey. Well, I want to know I'm riding a motorbike with an engine. I just love it. So that sound, how does it make me feel? It makes me feel very pleased, and as a Yorkshireman, knowing that it's £3,800 or thereabouts is even better, isn't it? Such good fun. And then we're back to a 30. Marvellous. But slow down. Yeah, I've had a wonderful time with it, and I'm really impressed with it. I was the first time I rode it. I think, I don't know how much a Gorilla is, and I do need to ride the Gorilla just to see. I'll just give you a little wipe there, make sure that there's no bugs on there. I think it's wonderful, yeah. So what I'll do is, I'll bring you back when I get a bit closer to Orwell's, yeah. Almost back at Orwell's, and what a fantastic ride. What a brilliant commuter this would be. It's just carved through the traffic, absolutely no trouble at all. And in fact, I think there is another test rider behind me on the Kawasaki 500, but he's quite some way behind because, well, I just sliced through it, yeah, like a bacon slicer. Absolutely marvellous. Let's get in here and we'll have one last look at it. We'll have one last look at it and then say goodbye. Oh, someone's taking that out into neutral. Side stand down. Of course it comes with a centre stand. Ignition off. There you go. Royal Enfield Hunter 350 here at Orwell's. Yeah, absolutely marvellous.